Hey, it's Ben from EdTech Designer, and today I'd like to run through the process of setting up and deploying a Plenti site on Netlify from GitLab. Now, Plenti, for those who don't know, it's an open source Svelte-based build time rendering engine for developing and generating websites. And it's an awesome project developed by Jim Fisk, so have a look and check it out. Traditionally, this type of project would be called a static site generator, but it's better defined as a build time render engine, as it's better describes what Plenti does and how it works, because importantly, the rendering happens at build time. So Plenti has a discoverable CMS built in, and it's one of its notable features. And I'll quickly show you how that looks. So I'll just switch over to a site. And once logged in, which I am, you can click on the Edit tab to open the CMS. So as you can see, it offers live previews, and once set up, it allows authors to make changes and save them back to the code base. And it achieves this by using a tightly coupled component architecture between its data source in JSON and its Svelte templates, and also combined with its Git-backed CMS. And you can see a preview of the Svelte components from this visual tab here. And if I click on one of those to open it, you can see the fields. And I might just make a change here, put an exclamation mark, and come down and save this to the code base. Just quickly show you what that looks like. In here, in the JSON index file, there's the change made. And also, if you look over here on the code tab, you can see a representation of the JSON data source. So additionally, we're going to be using GitLab for the code repository and a CI/CD pipeline to trigger builds before deploying it to Netlify. And I've got my account open on Netlify. And I'd just like to say that all the design elements that I've used to build my components for this site have been developed by CodeStitch, which is an HTML and CSS template library. And definitely check them out because it's an awesome project with a huge catalog of designs. And I think it's definitely the best way to get professional design components for your site. And this site is using one of their design kits based around construction. So now I'd like to cover the following steps. We'll first create and initialize a repo in GitLab and push our project up. Secondly, we'll create a Netlify site and link it to our app on GitLab. And thirdly, configure the build settings and create an access token. And then finally connect the app on GitLab to Netlify. So let's get started. Okay, so I'm in my account in GitLab. So I'm going to start with creating a blank project. Click on the new project, create blank project, and give it a name. Just going to call it construction. This is an optional setting here, but I might just select web dev platform and deselect the project configuration. We don't need that. So that looks good. We're going to create the project. So now we get a few options here, and I'm going to just push an existing folder and open the project. So I've just opened up the project to the right here, and we'll open a new terminal. And so what I want to do is push an existing project or folder and start here with this one. Git init, and copy that in and enter. And you can see that there's 83 new files pending there. And we'll grab the next line, which is adding the remote origin, and do that. And then come back and git add. And then we've got 83 there, it looks like. And we'll commit. I'm just doing copy and paste. And that looks like that's fine. I might just git status, have a look. Yep, it looks nothing like we're all good to go. So the last step is to push and push this code up to the project. So let's do that now. All right, that looks like, and it's set to main. That's worked. So now if I just close out of that and refresh the page, you should see the project is here. Okay, next we're going to create a site in Netlify, and I'm just in my account. So you can see there's a button to add new site. Click that, and I'm going to choose import an existing project. And of course it's on GitLab, so we'll deploy with GitLab. It'll authenticate. And then we need to find the project, which is not under my user account here. It's in a group, and I've got it under Plentify templates. So it should be here. There it is there, construction. Click on that. And then we're going to give the site a name. I'm going to call it Plentify-construction. Check the availability. Yep. All right. And the branch is main. So with these build settings, we don't need to do anything in the base directory. In the build command, we need to set this to /Plenti space build. And that looks fine. The publish directory is going to be public. And the functions looks fine. And then we'll deploy. Click on deploy the site. What we need to do now while we're here is to go to the configuration, go to build, is to change this build status from active to stop. And the reason we do that is that we are running the CI in GitLab and deploying the build assets afterwards. So we're not running the build process here. So we just need to stop that, and we just check those settings are fine. Plenti build, and then save. All right, so now with that done, we're going to create an access token in Netlify. But first, before I do that, I just want to show you why we need to do that. So in the project, I have a GitLab CI YAML file, which goes through the whole build step. And you can see here in the scripts, there is a Netlify auth token and also a site ID that needs to be configured. So to start, we're going to head over to the user settings, and you can click on your icon in the top right corner and then go to user settings. Okay, so now I've just got the project on the right from Netlify and GitLab on the left, just to make it easy, because we're going to do two steps now, creating the token and grabbing the site ID and then putting it into our project in GitLab. All right, so on the user settings, you can click up here, user settings, and then go down to applications, and you'll see under OAuth, there is personal access tokens. So we need to create one. We're going to click on the button to create a token, give it a description. Now, for this one, I'm going to use the same name, just so I know what it is. It's a Netlify auth token, and just append that it's the Plentify construction auth token, and we'll just go to no exploration, even though we get a warning. That should be fine. And then create the token, copy the token, and then head over to your GitLab project. And in here, when we're in the project, I'll just click on that pane to get the settings, the navigation. We need to go to the settings tab and then CI/CD, click on that. And then under the general pipelines, go to variables and expand variables. And then here we need to add this token as a variable. So we'll click on add variable, and we just give the key, well, the value is the token. So we'll just paste that in, and the key is going to be, I'll just give it the name, so I know what it is, and we'll just take away the space. So here is the key name. The description doesn't matter, it'll give it the same name, I think. So we've got our value, and we'll add this variable. Okay, and you can see it's added there. I'll just close it. It's added it here. And then what we need to do now is come back to our project and get the site ID, sites, and then come down to construction, and then site configuration, and then grab the site ID, copy that to the clipboard, come back over to GitLab, add a variable, put the value in with the site ID, and then again, we're just going to give just with the ID so we know what that is. Again, we don't have to worry about those. Add variable, and that's there. All right. So I might just expand this now. We're sort of finished with the Netlify side of things. So just coming back, you can see that the builds are failing. But what we can do here is we can start a new build. Let's build it again. Just click on there, and we'll initialize, we'll retry the build and see if that works. Just give it a minute. We'll just refresh the page. Still running. We can actually click on it and have a look. There we go. Took a little bit long. Okay, so it looks like it's succeeded. We'll just come back out to the project and have a look. Yep, we get a tick here. And if I just come back to the project and click on the URL, it should be live. Okay, so there it is. There's our site, and it should all be working. Go to the pages, it all loads. Okay, so that concludes this video on deploying a Plenti site to Netlify. Hopefully that was useful, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.